What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of What the L. I'm your host, Elle Kramer, and today I'm doing breakups part two because one part is not enough, unfortunately. I think I'm in the anger phase right now. Because I'm like realizing stuff that I was like, ooh, didn't like that. There's just some things that were just like throwing me off, I think. And I don't know. I'm just still feeling very emotional. So like filming an episode about how to deal with this is like very interesting for me because like, I don't know. So my first tip for getting past the second 2 weeks of going through your breakup is getting back into a routine. It is so crucial to have a good routine for yourself because I am a very structured person. I like to have structure. So whenever I don't have structure, I kind of feel all out of whack. And while I was dating this person, we did long distance. So whenever I would go see him, it would throw off my schedule. And so I think that also wasn't doing good things for me because I need to be able to get to the gym at least like 5 to 6 times a week. And if I don't, I just don't feel fully like myself because that has been something that I've been doing for myself since I can remember. Like, I've been going to the gym for a really long time. So that's just something that I need to do for myself. And whenever those things aren't done, I feel crazy. And like, another example is like, I have to have a good relationship with God and like prioritize my relationship with God. And we weren't the same religion. So that made it really difficult because I wanted to make it work, but our different beliefs, it made it challenging because we just saw things differently. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I thought I could do that, like be with somebody who has a different belief than me as long as they had a relationship with God. But I think the longer that I was in that relationship, I realized that I need to be with somebody who shares the same values as me because yes, I can love somebody, but do we want to raise our kids the same way? Do we want to do this the same way? Does he want to go to mass with me? Like, and that's not something that I should wait for. It's not his fault because he wasn't raised in that light, but I'm never going to expect somebody to change because of me. So it just felt like it wasn't serving me or him anymore. And it's not fair to ask somebody to change. And that's not who I am. I'm not going to ask my partner to change. So my first tip is get back in the routine of whatever that is for yourself. And for me, that's working out. That's seeing my friends, and thankfully I'm starting school on Monday, so that will be very good. It'll be our last semester until we graduate, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna give it my all this semester. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And so I'm excited to get back into that, and I'm setting goals for myself, and whether that's like small goals or big goals, really suggest making a list of goals for yourself and like writing that down and just going over like long term goals and short term goals, going over what the things that you want to do for yourself in the next upcoming weeks. And for me, that is, I wanted to get some more money before school started because I'm not going to be working as much. So I've been working more. I wanted to prioritize my relationship with God because I felt like that has been on the back burner. And so I've been doing that as well. And I think ultimately, whenever you prioritize your relationship with God, that makes everything else fall into place. So hopefully that will give me some clarity because I always just feel so much better whenever I have a good relationship with God and like whenever I feel good with Him. Because whenever I don't feel good with Him, I don't feel functionable. I feel like I'm crumbling and my world is falling apart. And it's just a lot for me. And I think I have to be honest with myself. That is something that I need. And my next piece of advice is try to say yes to all the plans that your friends ask you to go to. Like, if you have a bunch of friends and they are hitting you up constantly and texting you, be like, hey, come to TJ Maxx with me. Hey, come to the gym with me. Hey, let's go get coffee. Hey, let's go do this. Hey, let's go to Costco. Like, my best friend had to drag me out to go do something because I did not want to do anything. Like, I was devastated and just having a really hard time trying to do anything. And it can be really hard to get back into a routine of doing things. So that's why it's really important to have people who that love you and that you can trust and that you can lean your head on and won't judge you for whatever feelings you have that will arise during these next few weeks of your breakup, because breakups are unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to feel. One minute you could be crying, the next minute you could be fine. Luckily, I haven't shed any tears on this podcast, and I'm going to try to keep it that way for a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with shedding tears, but I'm still trying to sort out my own emotions within myself. And yeah, so like do good things that are good for yourself. And this is like the best time. Like, I know it seems like you have all this free time now and like it's really stressful and stuff, but you can do really good things with that. Like, you can work on the things that you love now and like flip the script and realize that having all this free time is awesome, because you now have all this time to work on yourself, work on the things that you love, and whatever that may be. That can be like going on a walk with your dogs, painting, like going starting a garden. I've always wanted to garden. I think that's so fun. Like, I want to garden one day. I will be a gardener. I will garden one day. I will have my own garden and it will be very nice. Mark my words. But maybe reading a book, going on a walk with your mom, going on a coffee run, getting a matcha, going on a movie date by yourself, like going, like spending time by yourself. And also, like, this is a really important time to not rush back into something. Like, you do not want to get back involved so soon with somebody, because I just think out of respect, it's not fair to do that to the person that you're with. Like, if you truly love them, like, you're not going to do that. And I just don't think that's cool. But that's just my personal opinion. That's my hot take. Do with that with what you want. But I don't think it's the best whenever you break up with somebody and just have a rebound. But I mean, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes you don't even see it coming. But I try to stay single and just stay focused on myself for as long as I can whenever I'm going through a breakup, because yeah, it just makes sense. And I just think this is the most important time for you to be focusing on yourself, whatever way that is. Also, if you feel like you can't get out of your sadness, find somebody who's more sad than you. Like, literally find an elderly person to take care of down in your neighborhood that needs some help, or like needs some, like, can't do something by themselves, or like just smile at somebody whenever you're at the grocery store. Like, compliment somebody extra. Like, start working at a coffee shop and talking to people, start studying at a coffee shop and talking to people, and like do that. You got this. Like, I believe in you. It's hard, but like, that's, if that's your goal, like to make more friends and like meet new people, you can totally do that. You just have to start showing up to things more regularly, even if you don't want to. Like, sometimes you just have to go. Like, for me, I don't always want to go to the gym, but I never regret a workout. And that's like, you'll never regret going to these things. I mean, you might one day, but you shouldn't, because it's fun for you and it's good for you. So the next thing that I think you should do for yourself is create a fulfilling life. And that's like, honestly, duh. Like, it's just hard. It's hard to not think about your ex whenever you're going through the breakup, because like, I feel like that's what I'm going through right now. Like, I'm just thinking about my ex, like hyper fixating on what he might be doing and like wondering what his socials look like and like what's going on there. And I'm trying to not think about that, because like, it's still like, I'm still like 2 weeks fresh from this breakup, and I'm like trying to not stalk him on Instagram and stuff, because like, I do want to know what he's doing and I do care about him still. But like, I do know that there's reasons that I like why I did what I did, and I need time and he needs time. And it's not like, you need to give both ends time for feelings to resolve and emotions to be less heightened. And emotions are definitely heightened right now, at least on my part. I don't know what to say about him. I don't know what he's doing. I'm doing my best to stay out of sight, out of mind, because that's how it should be after a breakup. And it feels weird like talking about this as it's like happening, because I feel like I kind of, this is why I don't like to talk about stuff on the internet about like my personal life, because I feel like I always jeopardize it and like ruin it by talking about it while it's happening. But that probably didn't happen. That's just probably the way it unfolded, and that's just what it was. But I mean, anyways, it's just, I just don't like to talk about my personal relationships too much like on the podcast, because I feel like it's putting, I feel like I have to knock on wood whenever I do that. And I'm also wearing black because I'm in mourning again. And so I think it's also really beneficial to make a set date with your friends and go to like a bar of some sort, and all of y'all should wear black. Me and my friends did it. It made me feel a lot better. We all went to a bar. Well, it wasn't even a bar. It was like a beer garden, and I took my dog with me, and it made me so happy because they all wore black, and it felt like everyone was supporting me in my decision, and it felt like it was like a funeral for my breakup, and everyone's like, "Why is everyone wearing all black? What's going on?" There was like 8 of us, and we were all in black, and they're like, "Is there a funeral?" And they're like, "No, we're just mourning Elle's relationship." Make you feel like, I'm not even kidding. We literally did that. There's a picture, there's evidence. I'll put it in this video. Um, yeah, it was great. I sent a picture to my mom. I stayed for like only like 2 hours because I had to pick up my brother's girlfriend in the morning, but it was still fun. And it's just important to remember that there are other people out there going through worse than you. And as even though it feels like it's the end of the world, like there are bigger and better things to be worried about. You had a life before this person, and it may not seem like it, but like you did have a life before this person, and you will get through this, and you are strong and capable to do that for yourself. And the next piece of advice I have is, they unpopular opinion, but I feel like this should be a known fact. Whenever you are with somebody, they shouldn't be your whole life. Like, they should have things going on outside of their life that they enjoy and things that they want to do, like hobbies, fun family things, like hanging out with friends, going on walks, going to the gym, going to church, going to dinner with friends, like whatever it can be, like going like skiing, going fishing. I don't care what it is. Like, you just need to have stuff outside of your partner, because if you don't have stuff outside your partner, you become codependent, and that is not healthy. And I've seen this happen so many times, even in my own personal life. It is so hard to realize when it's happening, because like you have these tunnel vision goggles on, and like you don't really can't tell what's happening because you're in love, and like you want the best for this person. And I'm a very empathetic person, and I want the best for people. I want my boyfriend to be happy. I want to please people around me. But at some point, like whenever something goes too far, like for some reason, like I always am like, okay, no, this is it. Like, no, we've given enough chances and we're not giving any more chances. So sometimes you have to know whenever it's time for you to walk away, because the things that you asked for aren't changing, and you have to be strong enough to be able to say, okay, this is gonna hurt and it's gonna suck for a while, but it's gonna be okay. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I'm praying for I'm praying for this person, and I'm praying for his future girlfriend. I don't know. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to talk again. I don't know. And that's also really hard for me, because like I am a person who likes to know. Like, I like to be in the know. So whenever I don't know, it eats me up inside, and like you might not always get closure, and that's something that also is hard for me, that I'm trying to accept. Like, we might never speak again. He might not ever reach out to me. I might not ever reach out to him. I have no idea. I don't even want to think about that because it makes me really sad, but like there's a possibility of that. And that's how it is. Like, that's how breakups go. It just sucks because like you go from being with a person 25/8 to never, like, to literally being strangers again. And I'm just like, I don't it's a lot easier for me because we don't live in the same state. And so I already had like an outside routine outside of him. Like, I would just go see him on the weekends and stuff, and like he would come here. But still, it's just, I don't know. You get so used to having that person. So I think the initial part, like the initial hardest part, is like that first 21 days of like breaking that routine of talking to them every single day. Because once you can do that, you're like, okay, I've done this for 21 days. I haven't talked to this person for 21 days. And I am really proud of myself. I have held strong on my no contact rule. I have not contacted him since we've broken up. He actually had his birthday. And I really thought about texting him happy birthday. Like, I was like I was like, should I text him happy birthday? Should I text him happy birthday? And I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't text him happy birthday. It's just going to open the door of hurt and chaos starting all over again whenever you just tried to close that door because you were trying to do better for yourself. So don't open the door. Don't do it. And I left that door closed and I had to distract myself all day with like doing other tasks so I wouldn't text him because I was literally like this close to texting him. It was bad, but I got through it. And yeah, so don't text your ex on their birthday, on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on holidays, because that is that little loophole how to get back into your ex's life without wanting to say that. But you shouldn't do that if you're trying to live a happier, healthier life and let your ex partner heal and yourself heal. Because I have love for this person. Of course I do. I am not the type of person who wants revenge on him. I want him to succeed in life. I just don't know right now if we were succeeding together. And that's like, okay. That's just something that I had to come to terms with and realize for myself and realize for him that right now it's not the answer and I can't be the whole cake. I'm just the cherry on top. And sometimes it gets to be so here's the hard part. Like it might feel like your relationship was like one of one. Like I spent so much time with this person. I thought I was going to get married to him. I was the first one to actually tell him I loved him. I think it's just okay to like try to take all of the things that you had together like out of your sight, like anything in your house that reminds you of them, anything that is his or hers, you need to get rid of it, put it in a box. If you're not ready to say goodbye to it, put it in your closet and don't look at it until you can, because it's just going to be another like trigger of what you lost. And the best way to heal from a breakup right correctly is by cutting out all reminders of that person and not speaking to them and spending time with friends and family and supporting yourself and doing things that you love to do. And this could be a time of having to remember what you love to do, because sometimes after a relationship, you feel like you can't trust yourself anymore. And I'm kind of in that feeling of feeling like I can't trust myself anymore because breaking up with somebody is like my worst nightmare. Like it broke my heart to break up. It breaks my, like I've broken up with two people before and it broke my heart and I was like crushed for months and months and months. And um it's just not a good feeling at all. And it's not a good feeling being on the other side of it either. Like I've been on both sides. They suck and I don't want that for anybody. But sometimes you have to do that in order to figure out what you actually want in life. And what you actually want in life is somebody who is going to be gentle with you 24/7, and like somebody who is going to protect you and put you, not always, will put you first but not above God. And that's like ultimately what I think I need. Like I need somebody who will put God first and me second and our kids third and everyone else fourth. And like that's I think what I want. um and I think it's hard to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't know God like you do. And I thought that maybe I could be that person to show him God, and I think I did show him God, but I don't think that means that we're meant to be together forever. And that's like the hard part. It's okay to set boundaries with yourself and try to not spend so much time dwindling on what could have been, because I think that's also something that I have been struggling with. I'm like, well, what if it was me? Like, what if I could have done this better? Or what if I should have said more of this here or communicated like this? And like, you can do that all day. You can do that until you physically can't anymore, but it's not, it takes two people to make a relationship work. And it shouldn't feel like you're giving 100% to a person and they're giving you like 60. And sometimes it's going to be like that, but like it shouldn't be like that and so early on into your relationship, and it shouldn't be that hard. Like if there's a lot of confusion, then it's probably not from God. And if you want the relationship that's going to be for life, and like I'm dating to marry, I don't mess around. Like I'm not down for the hookup culture. That's never been my thing. Like it's always been very black and white for me because I'm a very emotional person and I care a lot about the people around me. So whenever they are hurt, I'm hurt. And so I don't want to see people in pain. I don't want to see others in pain. And I don't want to create a connection with somebody that is really hard to sever once you create that connection, that soul tie that I've talked about before on Love or Lust, like many, many episodes ago. But I think it's really important to just surround yourself with people who love you and know you for you, and take this time to lick your wounds. And if you feel guilty for breaking up with them, it's okay. Like I feel guilty. I feel terrible. Like, but I know like there's nothing that I could have done better, and like that's what I have to live with. Like that's what I have to know, and that's what I do know. But it might not it I might have to be the villain in his story to be able to love myself again. And it's not that he didn't make me love myself, but like if he hates me for the rest of my life because I broke up with him, then that's the case. And if we never talk again because he's upset about the fact that I broke up with him, then maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's my closure. Like we were never meant to live happily together happily ever after because he didn't fight for me. And maybe you're wondering why your ex hasn't texted you sooner. Like why are they not coming chase after me? Like why isn't he doing that? But it's like you broke up with them. Like you can't be mad at somebody for not reaching out whenever you did that. Like it's just like you have to respect their space and give them respect, their boundaries, respect your boundaries, and you have to be firm and be strong in those things, because whenever you're not, that's whenever it gets messy, and that's whenever it gets really easy to go back to your ex. Because I'm only like 2 weeks into this right now, like fresh 2 weeks. And so like the months after is going to be hard too. Like I know it's going to be easier because I'm going to be busy with school and it's going to give me less time to think about it, but I will still think about it. Like it's still going to be something in my head, and I'm not going to just forget about this person that I've spent so much time with and I've like put so much effort into. Like it's not like you can't, whenever you're going through your breakup, you have to remember that it's not a waste of time. Like the time that you spent with this person is not a waste of time. Like you have learned something, and you've you've become a new version of yourself, and maybe you liked that version for a while, and maybe that version that you started to not like, and that's okay. But maybe write a letter to this person and never send it to them. Like write a love letter to this person about all the things that they did for you in this relationship, and all the things that you wanted to say to them if they would never hear it. Act like they won't, because maybe they won't ever. Maybe you will send this letter one day. Maybe you will burn this letter. Maybe you will throw it away. Maybe you'll just keep it forever. Who knows? I don't know what you'll do, but I think that's a great way to come to terms with what you learned from this relationship, because it is so hard to let go. Breakups hurt. Breakups suck. They're the worst. I don't like them at all, and I hate that people have to go through them. I hate that I'm going through one, but I mean, there's only one way to go from here, and that's forward. You can't move backwards, and that's what you have to know. You don't go backwards, and just because you had something good with that person doesn't mean you won't ever have that something. Just because you had something good with that person doesn't mean you won't ever have something good again. It is scientifically proven that we as humans fall in love multiple times in our lifetime, and that is a proven fact. You can look it up on Google. So you will experience this again, even if it doesn't feel like you ever will. And I'm telling you this as somebody who is literally like, I don't know. It's not fun. I'm not enjoying, like I'm trying to enjoy my time, but I'm also just really staying busy so I don't think about it too much. But also it's important to think about it, because if you don't think about it, you're just gonna dwell and not allow yourself to feel these emotions that you have to feel. You can't feel like this breakup was a waste of your time because this person taught you something, whether you like it or not, and they showed you what you want to look for in your next partner, what you don't want to look for in your next partner. They taught you more about yourself, and like you can't get that experience back. So might as well just be happy that it happened and learn from it, because that's all you can do in life is just learn from what happened and move forward. And so, yeah, I think, do I have anything else to say? It's important to just stay strong during this time, because it is really easy to find their number in your phone, and like if you literally need to cry, cry. If you accidentally, there will be days whenever you accidentally just like stumble upon a picture of them in your room or something, or like you're in your camera roll and there's like a picture you forgot to delete, or maybe you haven't deleted any of them, like maybe they've just been sitting there because you can't look at them. I don't know, but for me, I don't like to look at them right now. Like it just makes me sad. But like I haven't deleted them. So I will see them on occasion whenever I look at my camera, because I go through my pictures and I see that. And so whenever that does arise, you just have to go back into the mental, into remember why you did what you did, or remember why it happened, and just allow yourself to come back to earth and say, okay, just because I miss this person doesn't mean it's right. And give yourself, like, literally, if you need to set a timer and cry for like 20 minutes, let yourself cry, feel all of the emotions, and then get back to your life. Do that. And I'm not even kidding. I literally have gone into the bathroom at work, cried for like 15 minutes, and then I was like, okay, what can I get for you? What can I do? Would you like your drink hot, iced, or frozen? Wipes tear. Yeah, and they'll never know. And you know, you live and you learn, and you'll get through it. And there will be people after this person, but right now it should just be you and God. And that's where I am at right now. You are doing amazing, and I'm proud of you, and I love you so much. Thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for spending time with me while I'm going through this. Sorry that I was absent for those 2 weeks. That was those 2 weeks that, yeah. So yeah, anyways. Spotify video available on Spotify exclusively and YouTube. And check out my Instagram at what the L podcast _, and check out my main Instagram at Eleanor Rose Kramer. Follow me on TikTok at Eleanor Rose Kramer, and follow my fitness account on Instagram at Ella's at the gym. And if you ever need some pictures taken on for photography, I also have a photography account called Eleanor Rose Photography. So yeah, I'm starting school in like 4 days, 2 days, something like that. I don't know. And I'm about to be in my last semester of college with my best friend. So it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And we're going to get through this. And my DMs are always open. So please feel free to hit me up with any questions, or if you need advice. Like, take everything that I said with a grain of salt. I'm not a licensed professional. I just am going through a breakup, and I'm trying to give you my breakup guide while I'm going through it. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Go on a hot girl walk, maybe go to the farmer's market, maybe get a little matcha latte. I've been in my matcha girl moment for of 2 weeks now. We'll see how long that phase lasts, because sometimes matcha to me does taste like grass. So we'll see about that. But with that, stay savage, stay sexy, and stay tuned for another episode of What the L every Friday. Love you. Bye.